One ambitious teenager, one great idea, one brand, more than 470 stores in 64 markets worldwide, a passion for home furnishing, building affordable home decor for decades. Yes, you guessed it right. I am talking about IKEA. But who started IKEA? What does IKEA stand for? Let me tell you the entire story that will amaze you. I am Aahna and you're watching this show on WeKids Media, also available on Spotify podcast. IKEA is the brainchild of the late Ingvar Kamprad, a Swedish businessman who came up with the idea for a store full of functional furniture that's easy to put together. Kamprad passed away in 2018, but the story of how he built IKEA into one of the world's best known brands is a rags to riches story for the ages. Kamprad was born in 1926 on a farm in Småland located in rural Sweden. Wanting to contribute to the family's failing financial state, he started his first business when he was just 5 years old. Young Ingvar bought matchbooks in bulk and sold them individually. By the time he was 10, he was selling pens, pencils, seeds for flowers, and Christmas tree decorations. He was turning into quite a trader. Kamprad was dyslexic, but he didn't let that hold him back. He worked hard and did well in his studies. His dad inspired him by paying him cash for doing well in school, and Kamprad used that money to start IKEA in 1943. At that time, he was just 17. The first IKEA sold small household goods like pens, wallets, and frames for pictures. It would be 5 years before the store got into the furniture business. If you're wondering how Kamprad came up with the name IKEA, it's his initials, Ingvar Kamprad, followed by E for Elmteryd, the family farm he grew up on, and Aahna, his home village. Kamprad made the mail order catalogue an essential part of IKEA's business from the start. After all, his area of Sweden was pretty rural and remote. Reaching customers in bigger cities, especially back in the 1940s and 1950s, was difficult. The low prices, a catalogue, a permanent showroom, and direct delivery from the factory, the whole business model shook traditional furniture retailers, and shook them good. As early as 1952, the Furniture Retail Association had started threatening suppliers that sold to IKEA. The established furniture industry made intensive efforts to stop the low-price rebel from Älmhult. The boycott opened up new opportunities. When IKEA was unable to buy the same furniture as everyone else, it was forced to design its own furniture. Eventually, a distinct IKEA look evolved. To secure production and be able to keep its delivery promises, IKEA started to look beyond Sweden's borders. IKEA responded by undertaking its own design work and by contracting with foreign suppliers in Denmark and Poland. In 1956, IKEA introduced the flat box furniture or flat packs. They were designed to be assembled at home. This proved to be the company's breakthrough. Many IKEA stores followed, first in several countries in Western Europe and later in other regions. Over the next 50 years, nearly 300 IKEA stores opened around the world. The distinctive stores, each one highlighted by a vibrant blue and yellow roof, typically had more than 80,000 items in stock and also featured children's play areas and Swedish restaurants. In the year 2000, IKEA began selling merchandise on the internet, and the company expanded rapidly. By 2003, it was so popular that its catalog had the world's largest annual print run. And by 2009, the catalog was being issued in more than 24 languages. IKEA's phenomenal success made Kamprad one of the richest men in the world in the early 21st century. IKEA made a grand entry in India recently and has captured our fancy too. As future entrepreneurs, thinkers, and business leaders, what do we learn from this story? turning adversity into opportunity. Starting small does not mean one can't dream big. Boycott and opposition are not showstoppers. Look beyond the borders. The world is your oyster. So when is your next trip to IKEA? That's all for today. Do like, share and subscribe to all the WeKids Media channels. This is Aahna signing off.